G'day and welcome to another episode of Making Munch with Mike. I'm Mike. I'm gonna cook a sausage. I found my trusty flipper. Flipper and Lopaka. I've made that reference before, haven't I? Oh. I am nothing if not repetitive. Some exciting bonuses today. Sylvia's about to walk by. Hey girl. Oh, she's cranky. Look, it's yourself! And millions of viewers. One viewer.
I think she's looking at the stop button.
Oh, good stop button. No, she'll be looking at her face. Yeah, wild girl. Another bonus, by the end of the video, there's going to be some bread coming out of the oven. Rach has made a no-knead bread, although I think you do need bread, but whatever. And we're going to have the predicament of the Pig King today. We're doing the Pig King this week because this is pretty well the last episode of the season. Well, last few episodes of the season. You know. Yeah. So we're nearly done for the term, and so I won't be doing this through the holidays. So this is probably about it. You've got to sizzle that sausage. There we go. Ooh, that steam is good for the pores. Anyway, so on to the predicament, hey? So we had the introduction yesterday, story about King Pig. So the predicament of the Pig King by Giovanni Francesco Straparola. Goes like this. You must know, dear ladies, that Galetto, king of Anglia, was a man highly blessed in worldly riches, and in his wife Ercilia, the daughter of Matthias, king of Hungary, a princess who, in virtue and beauty, outshone all the other ladies of the time. And Galetto was a wise king, ruling his land so that no man could hear complaint against him. Though they had been married several years, they had no child. Wherefore, they both were much aggrieved. While Ercilia was walking one day in her garden, she felt suddenly weary, and catching sight of a spot covered with fresh green turf, she went up to it and sat down, and overcome with weariness and soothed by the sweet singing of the birds, in the green foliage she fell asleep. Wow. Oh. Well, that's too hot. Distracted from cooking. To just be reading the story. I got the pan very hot, very quickly. I feel like it normally takes longer to warm up the pan than that. So, I'm a little surprised. Oh. The Pig King, though. There's a king and a queen, and they're both excellent. So the king, he is rich, and the princess, she, as I say, in virtue and beauty outshone all other ladies of the time. So virtue and beauty are going together already in the queen. But the problem is that they don't have a son. And as a king and a queen, there is a significant problem there in that, well, their son isn't just their son, you know. It's not the same as, like, the baker and his wife don't have a son. It's significant for them, But when it's the king and the queen, it's significant for the realm. The whole realm wants a easy and a peaceful transition and a continuous dynasty, really. They don't want no chopping and changing on the fly and being unsure of who the next king will be. They want a son, and a son that, like, there's no challenge to the claim. Like, he is actually the son of the father. It's pretty significant. And so that sets up what our quest will be for, to have a son who is the son of an excellent king and an excellent queen. And it'll take a little while to get there. I mean, if they went straight there, that would be boring. That would be a bit of a nothing story. Very disappointing. So they'll take a little while to get there. And when they do, that'll be the end of the quest. But that's the predicament. To have a son at all. Now in the Bible, Jesus is often called the Son. He gets called the Son of God, which is seems like a huge title, and it is a huge title. It is very significant. But I think it often gets misunderstood. People often think of it as means that he is God the Son, second person of the Trinity. But that's not really what the Bible's saying when it calls Jesus the Son of God. It's a more recognized and a more known title than that. That he is pretty well the king. So it's just kind of, in general, what kings said about themselves. Kings said, hey, God is my dad and I'm the king. I forget which way around it goes. Marduk and Hammurabi. So Hammurabi claims that Marduk is his father and has appointed him to set out the laws. That's what we get in the Code of Hammurabi in the introduction. It was just a general thing. And there's even in the Old Testament that that's what God sets up with David, who is the head of his dynasty. He's the first king of David. Well, he is himself David. But yeah, he sets up the dynasty. That Jesus is in that dynasty. And God promises the dynasty to David when he's only been the first king on his own. And he says, your son will be my son. And so that means that the king is the son of God, which is a significant position. So when Jesus gets introduced as the Son of God, it kind of just means king. So Jesus has a few son titles. So he's the Son of Man, which, as we talked about yesterday, means he is the perfect man. He is the perfect end-time judge. But he's also the Son of God, which means he is the king. And the perfect king. There's no Son of God after him. He is the all-time Son of God. He is always the king in the line of David from Bethlehem, serving the world. How wild. So, yeah, how fun. Yeah, so that's the predicament. We're going to be looking for the son of a good king, of a good queen, to turn up. It's exciting. By the way, I'm doing my breakdowns just by paragraph. So I'm not being too precious about where which bit starts. I probably would have had a very short reading today if I'd been a bit more precious about, okay, that's still the introduction, because it's still introducing the characters. But there's actually a lot of reason to put the break where the paragraph is. Particularly that there's maybe more like a foreword as the introduction. I don't know. It just is. Yeah. Pig King. What What a rollicking good tale. Why don't you comment below your favourite bit so far of the Pig King? You can say, oh golly, that's fun. I knew this timer was about to go off. So bread comes out?
Yep. If it looks ready.
I'll bring the bread out of the oven. I think it looked pretty good just before. Might make some space for some bread.
Careful with the door.
Yes.
Just open it,
Oh. And here's one. I just pulled it out of the oven. I didn't do anything with it. I didn't prepare it earlier. Ooh.
I tried to score it in the shape of a love heart before I put it in the
Oh,
oven.
what a beautiful love heart. Look at this lovely love heart. Oh, nice. How nice is that?
So recognisable.
I see it. I see it. Put a comment if you like the love heart or something. I don't know. You guys comment anyway, so I don't know why I'm saying comment. Oh yeah, shake, shake, shake. That's fun. I assume cool out of the pan.
Yes. On a rack.
On a rack?
Yeah.
Oh,
So that it can
need to
breathe.
get the rack out. Anyway, that's been making munch with Mike, getting bread out of the oven, cooking a sausage, all the things. I will catch you tomorrow for the quest. That's going to be a long reading, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Alright, have a good one. Catch you later.